Allah, peace be upon him, mentioned a man from Bani Israel who asked another man from Bani Israel for a loan of 1,000 dinars. He said that first bring such witnesses whose testimony I can trust. The person asking for a loan said that only Allah is sufficient as a witness. Then he said that it is better to bring a guarantor. The borrower said that God is sufficient as a guarantor. He said that you spoke the truth. So he gave him a loan for a fixed period. This gentleman took a loan and left for the river trip. And then after fulfilling his need, he looked for a ride, boat, etc., so that he could cross the river and reach the lender within the fixed period that was agreed upon by him, and pay his debt, but no ride was found. Finally, he took a piece of wood and made a hole in it. Then 1,000 dinars in a letter, of this article, that these dinars are being sent, from him to the lender, and closed his mouth. And brought him to the river, then said, O Allah! He knows very well that I had borrowed 1,000 dinars from such and such a person. He asked me for surety, so I said that my surety is Allah Almighty. And he also agreed with you. When he asked me for a witness, I also replied that Allah is sufficient as a witness. So he agreed with me. And, so know that, I tried hard to find a ride by which I could convey his debt to him, within the appointed period. But I did not succeed in this. Therefore, now I hand it over to you, so that you can deliver it to him. So he threw the wood in which the money was in the river. Now she was in the river and he had returned. Although the concern was still that somehow a ship would be found, through which they can go to their city. On the other hand, the gentleman who had given the loan came to the port in search that a ship might have brought his goods. But there they found a wood, the one in which there was wealth. He took that wood for the fuel of his house. But when he cut it, dinars came out and a letter also came out. After a few days, when that gentleman came to his city, he came to the debtor's house. And, thinking that maybe that wood could not be found again, offered 1,000 dinars in their service. And said that by Allah, I have been trying so hard that if I find a ship, I will bring your property to you. But before that day when I rowed to reach here, I was not successful in my efforts. Then he asked, well, tell me, did you ever send anything in my name? The debtor replied, I am telling you that I have not found any ship before this ship, from which I arrived today. On this, the creditor said that Allah also paid his debt, which you sent in the wood. So he returned happily with his 1,000 dinars.